welcome back to At Home with Kayla Price. I am Kayla, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a quick and pretty easy recipe. And it is full of good vegetables and a lean protein, but it's also flavorful and something that I really like, and so does my husband. And the thing about it is it's wonderful in that you can tailor it to what's in your fridge or what foods you're trying to clean out of your refrigerator. And it also has really good vegetables in it, so maybe if you have kids that don't like veggies that much, you could kind of disguise them in there. So I think this is going to be a recipe that you want to put in your go-tos and use it all the time. Now, I live in a kind of small town, and I was not able to find an ingredient that I needed, so I made it myself, which isn't really that difficult either. I had everything already on hand. So that was the peanut sauce that I needed, and I have a little video of the things I put in it. I found a recipe online that I'm happy to link below. It just had creamy peanut butter, rice vinegar, lime juice. There was a chili garlic paste in the recipe that also I couldn't find in my town, so I just used that Thai chili sauce and then added garlic. So I think that I think it's a pretty forgiving recipe, so no matter what you have on hand or can acquire or can't acquire, I think there'll be a workaround for you. Now, I was able to find another ingredient I wanted, which was teriyaki sauce, and again, I did look just in case I wasn't going to be able to find it. There were some recipes online that are, you know, good workarounds as well. And other than that, in my recipe, like I said, I used a lot of fresh produce. So I used broccoli, cauliflower, mushrooms, which as you watch the video, you might pick up, I forgot to add them till the very end. So I went ahead and got them in there. I did use onion, and I used carrot, and the only other ingredient was orzo pasta, I believe. So anyway, I will have the full recipe down at the bottom for you, but we loved it. I did go ahead and taste how I had planned in my mind to cook it, and it tasted great. But I also had some Chinese 5 spice in my pantry, and I thought I'm just gonna give it a few sprinkles and see if that adds flavor. And sure enough, it added a depth of flavor that I particularly liked. My husband did not get the chance to taste it without, and he said he wasn't real sure. There was something in there different. So I don't know if it was, I don't know what it was. So I'd hate to blame it on the Chinese 5 spice. But anyway, I wouldn't go buy it if I were you, but if you have it in your pantry, maybe take a little portion out, add the 5 spice, see if you like it, and then you can just keep that in your recipe for the future. So let's get going and make some Asian chicken stir fry. And the sauce, like I mentioned, is kind of a teriyaki peanut sauce, and I'm cooking the vegetables with a lot of sesame oil, which is so good and flavorful. So that also has provided a little bit of extra layer of flavor. So all of it together just combines to a really good meal. It's really not anything fancy, but it would be nice enough if you have some neighbors you want to invite over or some family friends. Just add maybe a green salad or a dessert, and I think you would have a really nice, good meal that folks would enjoy. Of course, you could doll it up as you wanted. You could get some wontons and serve those at the table. You could do maybe, I love that ginger salad that you get a lot of times at sushi restaurants. So there are some good recipes online for how to make that ginger salad dressing, and that would be an easy one, but also kind of give a nod to that whole Asian flavor that you have going on. So anyway, let's get started. These are the ingredients that I used in the peanut sauce. So it was lime juice, chili sauce, rice vinegar, low sodium soy sauce, garlic, and creamy peanut butter. And remember, I couldn't find the chili garlic paste, so that's why I had the chili sauce and the garlic in there. And I made a half recipe, so this is it being combined. I did end up using the full amount that I made. And it was delicious, just on its own, it was delicious. I then boiled the pasta. So it's kind of nice to have a pasta in there as opposed to rice, which we normally see when we do Southeastern Asian dishes. And for vegetables, I used cauliflower, broccoli, onion, carrot. I forgot to put the mushrooms out, but I did later add them. And then on top, when serving, I sliced the scallion and put on top. So I did try to cut my vegetables very small and very uniform so they would cook quickly and cook evenly. So I did the carrots in a small dice, and then I broke off the broccoli and the cauliflower into small florets. And the onion, I did a small to medium dice on it as well. And you can just use any vegetables you want. You know, if you want to add drained corn, or if you want to add bamboo shoots, or water chestnuts are always good. There's just a lot you can do, especially if you have veggies in your pantry that you want to clean out, which was my mushrooms. I wanted to use the mushrooms. And then you'll want to go ahead and cut your rotisserie chicken into small pieces so that it's ready to add once the vegetables are done. Started with the carrots in my skillet and started sauteing those in some of the sesame oil. I then added my broccoli and cauliflower, and I would have added the mushrooms if I'd have remembered them. And then once those were all getting a little softer, then I added the onions since they seem to go quicker. And if you want to add some extra garlic in, you're welcome to do that. You do want to keep stirring. You'll want to use your lid so that your moisture doesn't all evaporate. But every now and then when I noticed that my veggies were getting low on liquid, I would either add more sesame oil or chicken broth. The chicken broth adds some more flavor and also helps the vegetables to steam and stay moist. this is with the peanut sauce and 1/4 cup of the teriyaki included. Now, I thought the peanut sauce looked a little thicker than I wanted, so I did add a splash of chicken broth. If you want it thick, then leave it that way. But if you want to thin it out, chicken broth is a good way to go. And then I decided to go ahead and add the extra 1/4 of the teriyaki sauce, so it ended up being a 1/2 cup altogether, and tasted it. It was delicious, but then I thought I would experiment by adding the Chinese 5 spice. I probably added about a 1/2 teaspoon of that. It was very good. I would not say it's worth running out and buying. It was fine without it. Sometimes when you have things in your pantry, you just want to use them. And this held very well on the stovetop while I waited for my husband to come home for dinner. To serve, I just put it in a shallow pasta bowl and added some fresh scallion slices on top. It would also be good with toasted sesame seeds and or chopped roasted peanuts. Again for being here with me today, and if you aren't already a subscriber, if you would please do that now. All you have to do is hit the little subscribe button, and it'll give you an option once you do that to hit the bell icon. And what the bell icon does is it lets you know up in your drop down, like the little bells, that I've posted a new video that week. So it's not all that intrusive. When I first was watching YouTube videos, I was hesitant to do that because I really thought I'd be getting an email and there would be an email all the time, and I don't want any more emails. But I have not received any emails. All I get is that little notification when I go onto YouTube. So that makes it a bit more of a pull kind of notification rather than a push, and just works in my life better. So if you haven't done that, if you would, I would appreciate it. I have set some goals for myself this year and I need subscribers. So anyway, I do appreciate you watching, and I will see you back next week.